the I started losing the meaning of life because my parents or society, everybody made me so ambitious that I thought that winning competitions or making a life, making money, having name and fame is the only thing that I have to live for. And those are the things that define me. But when I started losing, I lost the sense of my being, right? And I was trying to find out who I am. Slowly and steadily, it rose to a level that I got into depression. I had no clue what to do in my career. My parents did not had any answers to my questions, and my questions changed from religion to more existential. What is my purpose? Who am I? What am I here to do? Is the laws of reincarnation, incarnation really there? Is there life after death? All these questions started popping in my head. When I was a religious guy, I used to read Gita. I used to read a lot of other Purans, a lot of other books, Upanishads. And I just used to cram them. I just used to read them. I did not understand the meaning. But when I started losing, I started questioning all those books. I started questioning everybody, my family, my friends, the temple, the priest, because I was not getting the answer. And the answer was to understand life. What is this life? So I think losing competitions gave me my sense of purpose because from that time onwards, I started looking out for more. I started looking out for what I need to do in my life. I went to a lot of gurus, I went to a lot of societies, a lot of people that I met who were telling me that, they can help me understand life. They can help me understand existence. But I went to them and I did not vibrate with them. I had the same questions, but they could not answer it, or the answers did not fulfill me really. I just felt that they are making it up and they don't know themselves if this is the answer. I tried a lot of things and I finally left religion. I was so depressed and I was in chaos in my life that I decided to commit suicide. It was a very low point in my life, and I told my parents, I told everyone around me that life is not going to give me what I want, and you guys cannot give me the meaning of the questions or the answers that I need. So there is no point in living because I don't think anybody can answer my questions now. And I decided how to die. Like I planned my death that I want to leave my body, and this is how I want to leave my body. I think I remember it was my fourth year of the college, and I decided that okay, it's too much. I want to leave my body now, and probably next life, right? And I want to just get some rest now because there is no answers. But what happened was I found a friend in college who started doing meditation, and he told me about meditation, and I was like, I have tried so many things. Let me also try meditation because I am open to explore, right? And nobody or no one or no process has really fulfilled me. So let me also try meditation. So he invited me to a pyramid center. I sat under the pyramid for 45 minutes. Since I was an artist, I was thinking and imagining and thinking that all these things that are happening to me are really my imagination. Although in my life I've always believed that life was much bigger and much more magical, but nobody was there to tell me what that magic was. And in school I got to know, actually I got to know about suicide when I was, I think, sixth or seventh standard. So I had a very troubled childhood in school. Since I was winning a lot of competitions, so children were very jealous of me, teachers were jealous of me, and I used to face bullies. I used to face a lot of a very tough time in school. That I grew up, really fast in that way, where I had a lot of emotional baggage inside my heart. And I was never an introvert kind of guy. I was always extrovert. I wanted to make friends, I wanted to talk, I wanted to help. But the environment around me was the opposite. It was making me or pushing me to become an introvert guy and take all the suffering. So when I met this guy in college and he told me about meditation and I went into the pyramid and sat for 45 minutes, my third eye opened. My astral body came out and I started experiencing metaphysical concepts. Not just, and these were not theories now, this is my own experience. I told him all my experiences and he started telling me that this is third eye, this is your past life, this is your astral body coming out. And I was in awe, I was surprised, I was shocked that this kind of life really exists. And this was the magic I was looking for. So when he told me all these things, I still had a question like, are these things really real? Or are these things just my imagination? Because I'm an artist and I can imagine, I can really imagine things, right? I can imagine colors, which normal people are not able to very easily. But then one thing happened in meditation was that I saw an old guy with a beard coming in front of me, giving me a smirk, giving me a smile, like he knows everything about me. And he just smirked and smiled and went away. And I have not seen this guy ever. He's an old person. This is the only experience which made me believe that whatever was going when I was sitting in the meditation was not my imagination at all. Because there could be a chance that I could imagine some colors, some forms, my astral body coming out, whatnot. But I cannot imagine a person whom I've never seen. And this person was smiling at me like he knows everything about me. So that gave me a little bit of weird feeling inside my body, that he knows more than what I know about me. So I told this experience to my friend. He ran down the stairs and he brought a magazine called Spiritual India. And this man's face was on that magazine. He was Patriji. So I saw his face in my meditation, and then he told me that this is the guy who started PSSM. He started meditation. He started spreading the science of spirituality throughout the world, and he has dedicated his life towards the metaphysical science. I was so happy. I was so happy to really have found something. But my depression and that suicidal thought was there still in my mind. But I was in a peaceful state, a better state, because I found something to hook onto. I found something to lean onto. That was meditation. And I found that there is a way, maybe there is a way in life that I can be actually saved. And that way is only meditation. If I continue on this path, I might actually be saved. So in summary, I'm in still front of you, right? And I did not commit suicide. I got saved through meditation. I got saved through all the spiritual scientists that are working in PSSM. I got saved by the great books that Sir has recommended, by his teachings, by his wisdom. And this is how my life sort of took a turn. And everything changed in my life. My perspective towards life changed totally. Whether it was relationships, whether it was emotions, whether it was career, whatever it was, the whole scenario, the whole life around me changed. And I'm still working on a lot of paths because the journey is endless. But meditation is the only thing that keeps and binds everything in my life together. So I make sure that I meditate every day. Slowly and steadily, what happened was I got connected to my mentor as well. So, a mentor is a person who's more senior than you in experience and they understand more about spiritual science, because there are so many experiences we'll be going through and we seek clarity. We might not understand the meaning of every experience, and we seek clarity from a person who's senior, whose soul is senior than us. So I found my mentor in Master Pallavi. I met her through that friend only, and she knew that I was coming. So she had given this message to my friend, that there is a guy who has become your friend right now. He has meditated with you, and you bring him, and we'll talk. So when I went to her, I felt like I also found my mentor. I found my guru in Sir. I found my guru and my mentor in thee, and I continued my journey. There were a lot of ups and downs even after coming in meditation, because it's not magic, it's not going to happen in one night, but surely it is going to happen. That is what has been my learning. It is slow, but it is sure. The change is going to come for sure. And why I am the person who can say that the change is going to come? Because at one point of time, my parents were crying. I was crying. Everybody around me were crying because I told them I'm going to take my life. And today, I'm having a job. I'm having good, healthy relationships. My health is really good. I haven't taken medicines past 5 years. I have sinus, I've had migraine, I've had a lot of body ache, but I have not taken any medicine. When I was converted to religion, when I was into religion, when I was doing that religious thing, I got converted into vegetarianism that time only. But that time I got converted to vegetarianism because I wanted to win awards, right? I wanted to go to temple, bribe the god, bribe the temple, bribe the priest out of these things that we do every day. But then what happened was that after coming into spirituality, I really understood the importance of vegetarianism. I just have a request to make. Is it okay if you guys turn on your videos? Because it feels like I'm talking to like gray boxes only. So it'll be, if it's okay for you to turn on your videos so I can see your faces as well. Are you guys able to hear me? Thank you. Thank you. This really gives me, a motivation and sort of connection that I'm talking to human beings only. It doesn't feel really corporate that I'm talking to the gray boxes. Thank you so much for turning on the videos. So I found my mentor, I found my guru, I found vegetarianism, and what happens was that coming to spirituality, it was not about just theory. It was about experience. It was about doing it. It was about understanding it through reading, understanding it through experiencing. That really gave me a lot of confidence to really, take this path forward and research my ways in metaphysical science. uh, I found my soul group. I found people who I've been sharing my past lives with. I found those people and we started doing a lot of activities around spirituality. Since I'm an artist and a designer, we wanted to do something creative. So we started making t-shirts. We started making t-shirts with spiritual concepts like astral travel. And people were really intrigued to see those designs and they used to talk. I remember one of the experiences. I was in Hyderabad airport, and I was coming from what is called as Dhyan Mahachakra. It happens in December in Hyderabad. So I was coming from that, and I was wearing a T-shirt with Sir's face, Patriji's face on it, meditating. I was on the I was in the airport, and somebody was checking me, and this guy stopped and just started looking at my T-shirt, and he kept on looking, and I said, "Who is he?" And I told him he's Patriji. I've been meditating and that's why I've been here. And then what he told me that I want to start meditation. Why don't you teach me meditation right now? And I want to have a pyramid also in my house. So this is how small things, there are souls, there are people, everybody is ready. We are not going through Corona. The biggest global pandemic is here. It's not outside. It's in here and it goes 24/7, right? It's depression, anxiety, and whatnot at every moment, and people are not able to see the minds, but we know what's happening inside of us. So that is something that meditation gave me the power to connect to right kind of people, to spread that positivity in people, to spread that positivity in me, in myself. My family in the start, they were very scared of meditation because I was always, in school I had a troubled childhood, so I wanted to stay alone. Then I told them I'm going to kill myself, and then now suddenly I'm a meditator and I'm talking about metaphysical things. They were really scared and they did not allow me to meditate because they were afraid, Kundalini will awaken or something will happen, or I will go to the Himalayas and then I will do meditation there. I will leave the family. But I continued, and I used to go into the washroom, lock myself up, and do meditation for 2 hours. Because when you want to do, you want to do. You need to have that clear focus and clarity in your mind. You need to have that definite clarity in your mind that you need this, so you need this. It doesn't matter because, see, family, friends, They're always going to be there for you, to nag you, to pull you down, to pull you up. But all these are dramas. We are souls, we are soul entity, we are consciousness. We are here for completing our stories first, to understand about ourselves first, and then do anything with anybody else. To understand, we are not here to understand, you're not here to understand me, I'm not here to understand you. I'm here to understand myself. And when I understand myself, I'm going to understand you. That is the law of oneness, right? We all are belonging to that one consciousness. Doesn't matter the country, race, language. We all share the same challenges. We all share the same emotions. But we see and we perceive as if we are different. As if my challenges are different than yours, or your challenges are different than mine. But it's not the case. That's what I've learned. The thing called compassion in action is what I've learned through meditation. We say we're compassionate, but when you really meditate, you understand compassion towards yourself. And then you understand and then you propagate that compassion to everybody else around you. People can feel the difference in vibrations. People can feel that you've changed and changed for the better. So my parents did not allow me to do meditation, but today after 5 years they meditate with me. That's the change that I've found in my family. That's the change I've found in my environment, because they've seen me grow as a person. Religion or philosophy or theory won't take you far, but spiritual science, metaphysics will only take you far. I started as a humble meditator, and 2 weeks back we did a channeling program with my mentor, Master Pallavi. So she has been doing her spiritual practice for the past 16 years, and she can connect to higher frequencies, higher frequency entities and beings like Mahavatar Babaji, Ganesha, Christ. Myself have experienced meeting these entities in my astral travel. I myself have experienced talking to these entities in my meditation. And yes, it looks surprising. It looks like, is it really possible? But it is. It's just a matter of practice, and it's a matter of that moment when you're able to make that connection happen. And it is very much possible. But it needs a lot of discipline, regular meditation, a lot of reading the right kind of spiritual books, and of course sharing and teaching others. That's what we have learned from Patriji, that to do meditation, learn meditation, teach meditation. So I got connected to Ganesha consciousness few weeks back. I got connected to Ganesha for over 21 days, and we started conversing. Because you are a god, you have a higher self, right? You are not one body, you are seven body systems. That is the truth. There is no other truth than that. Everybody is going to experience the same thing, because truth is one. We are seven bodies. You're going to experience your higher self. Where do you think your imagination, where do you think your intuition comes from? Your questions can come from your mind. Your logic can come from your mind. Is it true? Is it not? But the answer has to come from the soul. That's how I've been living my life now. And that's how I've been propagating and trying to bring people together. So we've been doing a lot of activities with my soul group. And recently we started Soul Network as a place where my mentor's knowledge could be given to other people as well. She shares, we do programs where she shares her knowledge with other people around astral traveler, channeling, etc. These kind of topics. People who are really willing. And to my surprise, I found a lot of people are looking for it. When you experience something and you feel maybe it's my only experience, maybe it's not right, maybe it's wrong, you have a lot of doubts. But when you hear other people that they're experiencing the same thing or they're seeking the same thing, you really get energized that yes, I'm not alone in this boat. Nobody's alone in this boat. We are in together. So that's what I found. People from corporate, people who are CFOs and CEOs from Dubai, England, they are also seeking the same thing. They came into Channeling Collective, they became a part of the program, and they got connected to their higher self. They got connected to their inner intuition. And people who were not able to connect to their higher intuition, they were so motivated to see others' experiences that they were so fired up to practice. Because in spirituality or in any other thing in life, you need practice, right? You've been you've been doing studies, you do 5-year degrees and then PhDs and whatnot. You need to do PhD in spirituality as well, and it will take time for sure. It's not going to happen in one night. Need to understand what is my soul age. We have been taking so many incarnations. So all of these things happened, and like today I'm alive because of Patriji, because of my mentor, and because of meditation. That is the summary of my experience with spirituality and meditation. I hope you liked my journey, and I was able to share some good insights with you. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Akash. It's a wonderful journey. It's a wonderful transformation.
Thank you.
It's a new birth for you.
Yes, true.
Yes. Friends, anybody would like to ask any question to Akash? See, friends, all you need to do is ask. When you ask, it will be given. So he has been asking. Then he tried to go for suicide. Then God's, don't worry, we'll show you the path. See, he fight for at the last minute, for seeking to know the truth. Finally, he got it. So like that, for everything in our life, we need to ask and be patient. Then it comes to you. If it is right for you. So anybody would like to ask questions?
Um, yeah, good evening, Mr. Manas and Mr. Akashuri. It was very interesting and very touchy moments of experience that you had. And one thing that touched me more that you experienced to be with Ganesha for 6 days. So what did you what was your experience during which, and was it like 24 6 days, or how was it going? I just want to know about it clearer. Thank you.
Okay. So, I think I've connected with Ganesha since I was a child. So, I started my painting at an early age. The first painting that I did was of Ganesha. And since then, I've been painting. And when I got connected to Ganesha this time for about 21 days, I used to connect with him any time of the day. It was not day or night. It was mostly when when I was doing meditation. 80% I was used to connect to him while I was doing meditation, or I was in that state and I was doing meditation with a group. So when group used to sit for meditation, I used to enter into a deep level trance level state, and I used to start talking with him. So channeling happened. Lot of information got exchanged. He started telling me a lot of concepts. He started telling me a lot of things which I was very afraid to write about, because I felt like, is it my own mind? Is it really Ganesha? But then when the conversation started happening slowly and steadily, I understood that this kind of information I do not know. My mind doesn't know, right? This kind of information. This kind of information is coming. And then I started sharing it on the group as well, and people started feeling that vibration from those messages. They only told me that, okay, I can feel this from this message. I painted for about, I think, 30 to 40 paintings in that time as well. Made sketches. So I was doing channeling while writing, and I was doing channeling while painting also. So one message that I got from Ganesha was that he said that, so nobody in my family is an artist. Nobody in my family is a creative, and nobody understands creativity, or people still don't know what I do for a living, or they still don't understand it, what I do. So he told me that since childhood, he's been preparing me for the channeling. I did not know that. I used to paint because I love painting. I used to paint till 5 in the morning, and then go to school next day, go to college next day, do my exams. But then told me, and what happens is when you connect to a higher entity like this, they clear a lot of doubts inside of you about your life, about your purpose. And that's what happened. So a lot of concepts, spiritual concepts, started flowing from him to me, and I started writing it, and I started painting also. So we channeled Ganesha for different energies. I remember that he told me to use certain colors which vibrate at a certain wavelength to heal depression, because I've myself experienced depression. So he was trying to tell me that what is the science behind depression. Why do people get depressed? That is there a depression? For example, I'll share a very small anecdote. He shared with me that if you believe in depression, then depression is. If you don't believe in depression, then there is no depression. The problem with our minds, our society, or ourselves is that we believe in suffering so much that the suffering is manifested in our lives. I believe in depression so much, and it's not just conscious mind. Subconsciously, I believe in depression so much that I go through depression every day. For example, people like who are atheist, or people who do not believe in God or any kind of energy, have they seen that they say that they haven't seen that energy, so they don't believe in it. So Ganesha asked me, "Have you seen depression? What does it look like? How does it talk? How does it walk?" It's like, no, I haven't seen depression. Then how can you believe in it? That was his statement to me. Why do you believe in depression then? I had no answer to that, because I felt like depression is so common and natural for everyone. But this is not natural. This is not common. This is what I've learned, like that global pandemic that is happening inside our heads always. So this is how our conversation started happening. He started teaching me more about chakras, more about astral body, and slowly and steadily I got connected to other masters as well. Yeah, I hope I was able to answer your question.
And did you write that in as a book, or you compile that into a special file on each of your experiences?
They're still in my laptop and my mobile right now. I'm planning to write a book and collate all the data together, and also collate all the paintings, because channeling mostly happens because you have to share that to the people. Channeling happens because you become a medium for that energy, and you become a medium for that energy to spread in the world. So it is my purpose. One of my things that I have to do is to make a book out of that and include all the drawings, all the paintings, and all the content that I've written, and then spread it to the world. So I'm still in the process of collating all the information.
Thank you very much indeed, and because that
Thank
is
you.
very useful, because I believe that each experience it's very personal and have a special message to the person who happen to get the experience. And I'm now in the midst of questioning to myself, and I indeed more to be alone, and whenever I go out, I also try to also going within, and your experience really slowly will help me, of course, will uh, to control my subconscious into conscious, and my path and my steps. And now it becomes very it is actually that we have to compile our life into one conclusion, right? So, and yeah, and your experience is really valid for me, because I'm also doing something with art, with and I mean, I am a person who almost lost my my confidence, and I need I need to know my who am I mean, my DNA to express my identity into my piece. I mean my piece of artwork that I produce. something like that. So it's really great help.
I'm sure you will be too. All the best.
Yes. Thank you. Akash, do you have any some paintings with you, some creativity you able to share?
Not at the
Something.
moment.
Yes. Okay. Fine. Yes. Anybody, friends? Yes. Any more questions? Yes. Okay. Okay, friends. Thank you, Akash. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for your
Thank you for
sharing.
listening.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Yes.
you. And please share whenever you have compiled your artworks into books or wherever, into your IG or whatever. And please update us with through Mr. Manots. Thank
Sure, I
you.
will do that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.